The following footage was uploaded to the YouTube channel Urbex Ontario in December of 2024. In the video, a man named Owen was exploring a pet food factory in a remote part of Michigan, when he unexpectedly encountered something that sent him running for his life. Owen, who regularly documents his visits to abandoned locations, set out to explore the factory with a few of his friends. During the initial minutes of their exploration, they spotted several security guards patrolling the property. But fortunately for them, they managed to remain hidden and undetected, eventually entering the building without being spotted. For approximately the next 10 minutes, they continued to investigate the factory, and apart from the guards that they had seen earlier, everything seemed to be going quite smoothly for the explorers. They then decided to leave that section and chose to check out the upper levels. However, as they were walking through that section, that's when they stumbled upon something extremely disturbing.
Gotta be very careful because this is open and security could be right outside. They're doing rounds around the building, so we have to be very careful here. Wow. Let's go up these stairs and see what's up here. So, we have like an office area. Jeez, what was that? Was that you, Carlo? God. Making a lot of noise, so we gotta be careful. See a door here. What the heck? So I think somebody's been squatting in here. Somebody's definitely been squatting in here. It looks like somebody's been squatting in here.
Yeah, wait till you see the freaking bedroom in here.
There's like fresh flowers here. That is sketchy.
Yeah.
Somebody's been in here.
And his knife is here too. Dude, look at
There's a bed. What the hell?
the bed with the couches.
We're in the middle of like one of the machines right now.
This is like an exhaust machine.
Yeah.
Dude, his shoes are still there. Look.
Look at this is a scrapper. They're taking the coffee.
Oh, his flashlight is on. It just turned on by itself.
And the scary thing about this is this guy could come back at any moment. So what I'm worried about is that I don't know where that tunnel back there goes. That could be another way out that he could use to go in and out.
As the explorers ventured into the ventilation ducts, they were immediately taken aback by what looked like a makeshift room crammed with a variety of items. Their initial discoveries suggested this space belonged to a scrapper, given the presence of various power tools, a flashlight, and even a knife, all indicators of someone salvaging materials. Intrigued by this unexpected discovery, the explorers decided to remain inside the room, spending several minutes meticulously examining the contents and trying to piece together the story behind this hidden space. However, their investigation was abruptly interrupted when they suddenly heard a loud bang coming from the vents nearby, and before they could fully process the sound or identify its source, they spotted a strange man rapidly approaching them.
And the flashlight is still on.
Yeah, I'm not touching it.
Glasses, book,
What the frick? Can you know that?
screwdrivers and stuff. Is that a walkie-talkie or something there? Do you guys hear that? Do you hear that?
Yeah, there's something out there.
There's. Oh my god. Do you hear that? Is there somebody here? Oh crap. We gotta get out of
Let me
here.
take point.
Can we go that way or?
No. Let's go. Let me take point.
We gotta get out of here. I think somebody might be in here.
Something close the door on us. Hello?
What's that? What's that? What's that?
Go.
Oh shit, there's somebody there. Go, Carla, go. Go. Oh my god, there's somebody there. Run. Get out. Oh shit, he's coming. Carla, run. Get out. Should we hide in this other building or where should we go?
As soon as the explorers spotted the man aggressively banging on the window, they immediately took action, fleeing the scene and making their way out of the building. However, despite their retreat, the man, seemingly fueled by an unrelenting determination, continued his pursuit and relentlessly chased after them. The explorers, seeking refuge, then sprinted out of the building and hid themselves within the warehouse for several critical minutes. Fortunately for them, the individual appeared to have stopped the chase at some point, as he did not pursue them into the warehouse. Although the trio was understandably startled by this chilling encounter, they still chose to continue exploring the site for an additional 15 minutes, but they wisely avoided the factory where they had been chased out earlier. During this extended period of exploration, they did not encounter the individual again, and the overall atmosphere had significantly calmed down. They ultimately decided to end their exploration and successfully managed to leave the building. Nonetheless, the explorers were incredibly fortunate that day, as they were able to outrun the man, and they managed to escape a potentially dangerous situation without sustaining any major injuries. In October of 2025, a YouTuber named Jose uploaded a rather terrifying video titled "Alone Inside a Cursed Abandoned House" to his channel, Jose Flores Terror. His channel is dedicated to paranormal investigation, and he often documents footage of his adventures exploring various haunted and abandoned locations across Latin America. In this particular video, Jose decided to explore and spend the night inside an abandoned house that is infamous for being one of the most haunted sites in the area. The building, which is located in a remote part of Mexico, is notoriously known as a hotspot for paranormal activity. The locals in the area believe the house is haunted by an evil spirit and have also reported some very bizarre occurrences within the building. These reports often include sightings of ghostly apparitions, hearing strange noises and footsteps, along with reports of seeing furniture and doors mysteriously moving on their own. But despite these chilling accounts, he remained completely undeterred and set out to investigate the truth behind these claims. As Jose began his exploration and entered the building, he initially walked around the premises to explore the surroundings, but also to ensure that no one else was currently inside the building. After thoroughly searching through the property, he fortunately found no homeless individuals or illegal squatters, nor did he find any signs indicating the building was haunted. Although he did mention the feeling of being watched and felt a bit on edge, he ultimately brushed off these events as paranoia and continued with his exploration. He then decided to prepare for his overnight stay and began setting up his camping equipment. However, as he was assembling his tent, that's when things started to take a turn for the worse for Jose.
Se acaba de escuchar como un golpe. Aquí y ahora sí voy a comenzar a armar la casa de campaña. No he podido ni siquiera terminar de armar la casa de campaña. Justamente apenas la estaba armando y se escucharon varios golpes por acá, por la parte de atrás, por eso dejé de armarla.
After hearing the loud banging noise, Jose, startled by the commotion, immediately got up and went towards its direction to investigate. During his brief but somewhat thorough investigation, he cautiously moved from one side of the building to another, but despite searching everywhere, he found nothing that could have caused those noises. But he did, however, find several bats flying around one of the rooms, and suspected that they might be responsible for the loud bangs. He dismissed the commotion for the time being, and eventually went inside the room to finish up with his tent. After finally setting up his tent, he decided to conduct a test using an app, where he would try to communicate and see if he would hear or see anything unusual again. During this test, he did get some readings, but nothing too conclusive to indicate the building was haunted. However, as he was starting to question the accuracy of this app, he started hearing the noises again, but this time they were louder and closer.
¿Estás hablando a través de la aplicación? Ay. ¿Se acaba de escuchar un golpe por allá? Uy. La sensación de repente de este lugar se acaba de poner completamente diferente. Se siente, por así decirlo, como otra energía acá, como otra sensación. Todo el tiempo traigo los pelos de punta, una sensación de todo el tiempo como, no sé, como si hubiera algo más acá. Parece que hay alguien caminando en la parte de afuera. Hoy. Y acaban de comenzar a ladrar los perros. No estaban ladrando ahorita. Hoy. Hola. Hoy. Se acaba de escuchar un golpe acá, no sé si golpearon la ventana.
With the footsteps and loud noises seemingly originating from one side of the building to another, Jose immediately started following them, trying his best to comprehend and figure out their source. But again, despite his efforts, he unfortunately found nothing that could have caused those footsteps. After yet another failed investigation, he had absolutely no idea who or what was responsible for the noises that seemed to originate from all corners of the building, and was even more confused as to why the dogs had suddenly woken up and started barking. As a result, he was thoroughly overwhelmed by everything that he was witnessing that night, and grew anxious trying to contemplate his next move. But despite his growing concern, he didn't leave or end his exploration and continued to investigate the building, regardless of any potential presence.
Hey. Hoy. ¿Quién anda aquí? Hoy. Hoy. Se acaba de escuchar que acaba de correr alguien por acá, como si hubiera corrido alguien. No sé si sean los murciélagos que estén provocando todos esos ruidos. Uy. Eso acaba de escucharse detrás de mí y estoy seguro que no fueron los murciélagos. Aunque están volando aquí, estoy segurísimo que no fueron los murciélagos.
After repeatedly hearing the noises, Jose realized that when he went towards the commotion, it would abruptly stop and would somehow originate from a completely different direction, and for some bizarre reason, would get even louder. With this in mind, he decided not to investigate or move towards the noises, as he felt it would amplify the commotion and would only make the situation worse. He then went inside his tent to comprehend the situation, and also to see if he would hear the noises again. For the next several minutes, he remained inside the tent, and he fortunately didn't hear anything unusual during this time. By this point, it was approaching midnight, and he ultimately decided to call it a night, as the situation had significantly calmed down by then. However, as he was sleeping, he was suddenly awakened by the sound of a woman crying outside the building.
Una con 13. Y se está escuchando como un lamento. Uy. Es un lamento que se escucha en la parte de afuera. Hoy. Se escucha como un lamento de una mujer. Una vez más, el detector de energía está completamente loco. Se acaba de escuchar otro golpe detrás. Voy a comenzar a recoger todas las cosas. Ya es bastante tarde.
After hearing a woman crying and another series of footsteps and loud bangs, Jose investigated the noises, but yet again it resulted in nothing. Following this failed investigation, and considering all his previous encounters, he was convinced that the house was haunted and was indeed possessed by an evil spirit. As a result, Jose ultimately lost interest in exploring or investigating the noises further and eventually decided to end his exploration and leave the building. He then began packing up his camping gear and eventually started making his way towards the exit. Luckily for him, he didn't encounter anything unusual again and was able to leave the forest and return to his car without any harm. It's still unclear who or what was responsible for the loud bangs and the noises, along with the mystery behind whether what Jose encountered that night was paranormal. Ultimately, it is up to you to decide whether this house in Mexico was truly haunted, or whether this whole situation was simply an elaborate hoax.